Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Welcome. Please pay attention to the following announcement from your streaming host. International streaming rules and regulations require me to provide the following information. I am on the Xbox Series S. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We will be flying the P-38 Lightning. We will be departing from Sequoia Visalia, and we'll be heading to Stockton. I'm not taking requests for flights nor particular aircraft. My flight schedule was created well in advance and is subject to change based on my own schedule. Alright, nice, Jody. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are vintage aviation flights. Tuesdays are jetliner, regional jet, and regional prop flights. Thursdays are military aviation flights. Saturdays are flights featuring the P-38 Lightning called Lightning Saturdays. Sundays are scenic flights. Any other information can be found in the description area below the video. Thank you for your attention. So, should be a very quick flight today. Not very long. We're just kind of heading up the Central Valley here, and we'll be landing there in Stockton. So let's get in here and get things started up and be on our way. The curls are in for the wedding. Having some chill out before setting off. Nice. Glad to hear it. All right. Let me make sure we are gassed up since the fuel truck's here. There we go. We'll just gas it all the way up. Why not? My switch is on here. I'll be back in the chat in just a moment, folks. Let me get the plane started up. Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. There's one. So I did not crack. Throttle a little bit. 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. There we are, there's that. And let's dial in our first 1290. Second one, 1420. That's all set. Great. Let's make like a baby and head out. Might be a pretty quiet day today. Right, and there we are. Oops. Wrong button, Clyde. And away we go. So for those of you who don't know, the Central Valley of California is predominantly the agricultural area in the state. Lots of different crops are grown here. The Visalia area, and I was kind of looking this up this morning as I was still kind of waking up, but olives are grown predominantly. One of the major crops there from Visalia. Thank you, Amela. Sorry. Thank you. I think I muted it because the knucklehead's outside. Sorry. Thank you. Somebody was having their car alarm goes off intermittently, and it's always early in the morning. Well, it's, for me, I could still consider it early. It's you're just being inconsiderate to other people when you do that crap. But anyways, thank you. So we need to come in at about, I think it said 160 miles an hour. That's what we need to reduce to. Remember that correctly? Yeah, 160 miles. Yeah, it's just, it never fails. People just, their stuff goes off. It's either early in the morning or later in the evening when people are just trying to have a nice, quiet time, Need to turn to the left just a smidge. Okay, so there's our first waypoint. And then we'll I had some pasta last night, Camilla. Just some more pasta. What I do is I make the macaroni, but I don't put. I let it kind of cool down a little bit because it's still too hot here. Like in the evening. So I just let it cool down, and then yeah. So. Nothing too fancy. Okay, 11420. Okay, now we need to dial in our next one. Next one is 60. Right. Yeah, just plain. Nothing. So, yeah, nothing. Because I used to eat the spaghetti sauce, whenever I have spaghetti, but it's like, it just doesn't, I don't care for it that much anymore. I don't know why. Alright. Take care, Jody. Vacuum cleaners chair. Oh. Hello, Crinkman. I was like, wait a minute, vacuum cleaners, what? Nice to meet you. Or nice to see you here. We've already met, of course. Nice to see you here. Welcome. We're just over the Central Valley of California. Took off from Visalia, heading to Stockton. Should be a fairly quick flight. We're on our second leg of our... We have one... Well, technically two more to go. We've got one more to go for about... this one's 35 nautical miles. Next one will be 36. And then we will turn for 21 nautical miles and we'll run right into our... We're trying to get a vacuum cleaner tomorrow. Good luck to you. Hopefully. Now, let me ask you, and maybe you've already told me this, and if you have, I apologize in advance. So what... I know you fix these old vacuum cleaners up, like if you can find parts and you can make them work, you know, you can get them working again. But after that, what do you do with them? I mean, you must have like a huge collection of vacuum cleaners. What do you do with them? Like, do you just have like this room with all these different vacuum cleaners, or I mean, I'm just kind of curious as to what this you know, what is it that you do with all this? I mean, I guess it would also make sense, like if you bought them and then you turn around and sold them, you know, like you got them working and then, you know, say you pay $10 and you sell it for 30 or something, you know, you make a little bit of a profit off of them. I'm not sure how that would work, or if that's what you do, or if you just keep them and fix them. I don't want to resell them fixed because I want to remember. Oh, okay. Well, that's fair enough. I just wasn't sure, like, if you know, because some people will do that with like watches, for instance. They'll find an old watch, they'll buy it, fix it up, and then they'll resell it once it's, you know, once they've got it working again. They completely clean it out, they replace any of the parts that they can, and put a nice strap or whatever on it, and then they sell it for profit, so that they, you know. But nothing wrong with that. But I would think at some point, and I may be wrong, but at some point, wouldn't you kind of start running out of room for all these vacuum cleaners? I mean, some of them maybe, you know, like the older ones weren't as big as some of the other, you know, like some were very large. Maybe they were like an industrial size vacuum, and others are very, you know, small. Pure metal. Oh, wow. Well, and I get it. I mean, the thing that fascinates me most about that is that the craftsmanship of those things, like all metal, that's not something you would finding more room. Okay. You know, like today it's basically plastics and any other kind of, you know, what I guess what they would say inexpensive material to create it. Hello, Joseph. But yeah, on all metal, I mean, that's a pretty, today that would be a very rare thing. That would probably not be made. It would be some kind of a plastic, or a hybrid plastic, maybe carbon fiber. You know, like they would use lightweight materials, but that were also very strong. But I mean, that would be a huge vacuum cleaner to use to move around by hand. You know, you'd have to be a pretty strong person to carry those up and down the stairs if that's what you got to do. You know, not unless you have a little elevator in your house or something. All right, let's see. Still making our way. Wow. Yeah, it's like a synthetic brush or something. Yeah. Looks like our next here's pellets ice. Oh, wow. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, good morning, Airlock Doc. Nice to see you here. Climbing through 370 on our way to 430 in a CJ4 from Brazil to Liberia. Wow. Sounds like a heck of a flight. Brazil to Liberia. Hopefully you're well. I'm curious to see Captain Arish's stream later today when he tries to instruct Emma in how to land, I think. That should be an interesting stream. Next leg coming up. We were okay. Demon Zealot, Xbox Series S. I'm going to give you the quick rundown here as soon as I make sure we are on our way to our next waypoint. Hold on just a second. Okay, so just give you a brief rundown here on the channel since you are new here. I am on the Xbox Series S as in Sam. I am using the standard controller only. I do not have a yoke or throttle or anything else. I have the deluxe version of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. We are flying the P-38 Lightning. We departed from Visalia and we are heading to Stockton in California. We are over the Central Valley, the agricultural area of California. I am not taking requests for flights nor for me to fly particular aircraft. My schedule is created well in advance and is subject to change based on my own real-life schedule. At the same time, if something up hard with a middle brush roll, it could damage. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, that sounds pretty. I would believe that. Absolutely, that sounds very reasonable. all, just to reiterate, especially on YouTube, all the stuff is there in the title and below the video. So, but I know some people prefer to have their question answered live on the air. Such is the way our world is today. So technically I'm not flying. This has a pretend autopilot system. If I had the yoke and throttle at least, I would be flying. You're at a market. Yeah, I would. Well, not only that, but I would think metal would be, depending on the carpet, it might damage the carpet actually too. So that was the airport back there that we landed at. That kind of crazy landing, because I remember we came through here when we landed in Fresno. We passed the larger airport. We landed at that smaller field right there with the insane landing where we crashed and ended up. There's an airfield as well. Okay, interesting. We'll go running out on the active runway. Whatever you do. Alright, so this is Fresno. Stockton isn't, flying-wise, Stockton isn't a very far trip to get to. Driving-wise depends on the traffic and which way you go. Which way will get you there a little bit quicker. Oh, Visalia also was, I forgot about this, but a couple things about Visalia. Kevin Costner went to high school in Visalia for 1 semester, and if you watch the movie Bull Durham, his character played for the Visalia minor league team. Talks about it, which is now the Visalia Oaks, which is the minor league team for the Oakland A's, which was something that was featured in the movie Moneyball, when Billy Beane was on his way to Visalia to see some of the minor league players played, if they, thinking about calling them up at some point or whatever. Is your frame rate laggy at airports? Not usually, I don't think. I don't really check my frame rate on the Xbox, so I couldn't really tell you. But sometimes, I don't have live traffic on, so that might be why I don't see much lag at the airports. Good morning, Mixter. How are you? Well, good afternoon for you. How are you, kind sir? Nice to see you here. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stream, Watt Mitford. Which one, Bull Durham or Moneyball? Or both? I think you and I have talked about Moneyball before. Yeah, the Visalia Oaks is the minor league team for the Oakland A's. And I think Fresno has the minor league team for the Giants. I might be wrong. Let's just drop Just a smidge of altitude here. Glad to hear it, Mick. Glad you're on the mend. The Xbox Series S seems to have more stable frame rates than the Series X. I couldn't tell you if that is true or not. I mean, if yeah, I've heard mixed things. Some people say otherwise. It's the thing with the sim on the Xboxes. It's all rather a bit what's the word? It doesn't seem like it's there's no consistency, I guess, is what the word I'm trying to think of. Like, you know, when with all the problems, some people with everything that's been going on, they've not had any problems at all, and other people are like, they cannot get the sim started up. It's like this hit and miss sort of. It's very strange, and which makes it harder for them to I think to figure out what the problems are. You know, it should be more specific. The metal vacuum is a 19. Oh, I thought it was like a, you know, that sounds like something that would have been made in, you know, the 1930s or something, or 1940s. Well, not so much the 1940s, because metal was used for other things. It was the 1930s, maybe. If you were wealthy enough, you know, you could maybe have that made. But anyways. So also what we're doing is we're flying, and we'll be going over into Arizona and then up into Nevada here going into June. We're visiting former Army Air Corps bases that are either now have been repurposed to regional sort of airports and municipal airports or anything like that. Like Burbank was the Burbank airport area was where Lockheed had their headquarters, and they built a lot of these aircraft, for instance. So, first vacuum with a meter bar was a I'd never heard. I never knew somebody who knew so much about vacuums, Crankman, until you popped into my chat. But as I always say, you know, if that's your thing, more power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody has their hobbies and their, you know, that sort of thing. So nothing wrong with that at all. We should be close to Stockton. Now, Stockton is the home of the battleship. Is it the Iowa? Forget. I know it's the battleship is in Stockton as a living museum, I believe. It was going to go to San Francisco, but there was a big brouhaha about it. A whole bunch of stuff happening, and so Stockton said that they would take it. And so I think if there's like the premise was that if there's an emergency, like a massive power outage in Stockton, they can fire up the engines enough to help. It would be like a command center for recovery efforts. And so yeah, Stockton has that capability now, where it would have made more sense for it to be in San Francisco, especially with all the earthquakes that happened there. Hello, Yudhishthira. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Want to vacuum? Oh yeah, I would imagine that would be a quite a find there, something from the 1920s. I like stuff from that because it's got that Art Deco sort of Art Nouveau, you know, streamline sort of stuff. It's a very artistic sort of period. So yeah, very cool. Anything from that period of time is, I really like looking at those sorts of things and you know, learning about the history of it and all that. All right, let's get a little bit lower, and let's go ahead and call in. Tell them we're coming in. Dang it! Leave the lights on. We're coming home, and that is KSCK. We're still not close enough yet. Apparently, I don't see it on the list. All right, good enough. Oh wow, first electric was in 1908. Yeah, because by then certainly the wealthiest people who probably had housekeepers and stuff had the ability to have electricity in their homes. Just like when I was in Savannah, I learned that if you had wrought iron fixtures around the outside of your, like a wrought iron gate or anything like that, that was a sign of wealth at the time. Because it was, you know, it wasn't like it was just a plain sort of thing. It was just a, you know, if it was very ornate, that meant that you had the financial means of having that sort of thing created. There's only 4 Hoover Model O's today. Very interesting. Okay, we should be... I think we'd be close enough now. There it is. Oops. All right. Oh. All right, we're just going to go ahead and go over the airport here. It's possible for a few more, but never found. Well, maybe it's kind of in the storage facility that somebody hasn't found yet. Alright folks, we are coming in for landing here shortly. As always, I will get ready to turn the laptop to the side so that I can focus on landing. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do that right now. I will catch up with the chat as soon as we are on the ground. Get a little bit of flap going there. We're going to swing around. We're going to kind of come around to the right and line up there. Been through Stockton many a times over the years when I lived in California. I think I've been just about, well, I wouldn't say everywhere, but as far north as Shasta, Mount Shasta, and as far south as San Diego. Yeah. Almost every point in between. It sure seems like. Uh-oh. It's starting to do that thing again. Ooh, oh, up. I think before I had the fuel use on, and then the drop tanks might have emptied out first. That's probably why. So I think I switched it in time. Catch up with the chat here in just a moment, folks. Hello, Daniel. Nice to see you. I saw you pop up over on the Posh channel. Hopefully you are well. Hopefully you've enjoyed your Saturday fish and chips. Better go say hi in the regular channel, otherwise you're going to confuse addies. You know how that goes. Oh, come on. That's why I really need a yoke and throttle, or yoke and throttle system, because I can't. Every time I put that reticle, or put that thing near little bounce, little bounce. Well, that's better than we did last time, that's for sure. Whew. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Stockton, California. Local time is 5:28 in the morning. We understand and appreciate the fact that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures. We're glad that you chose to fly with us today. Oops. Alright, let's go to parking. Alright. Yeah, Ahani, whenever I'm trying to land, I keep the my laptop to the side so I don't get distracted by the chat. So apologize that I missed your Top Gun Jet is coming soon. Yep. Yes, I do have Ahani. I do have a donation. I have a PayPal link. It's in the description below the video. But if you want to, you're more welcome to. I think I put a list of this. Thought I did. But yeah, it's in the area right below the video. So I apologize. Because in the past everybody likes to comment and stuff, and I'm trying to land, and then I go all over the place. So that's why I don't. I have to turn the laptop to the side so I don't get distracted by questions or comments. So, but yes, there is a link to the PayPal area right below the video. So if you want to donate, you're more than happy to receive your donation. Whatever you feel that you can give, I appreciate it. It is not required, but it is appreciated. We'll be back tomorrow we'll kick things off on Sunday. Since your concert, yeah, because after last Saturday's flight when we crashed, but we still managed to have the plane upright. So I'm just trying to improve my landing situation as best as possible. You know, keep improving on it. Not the situation, but just continue to improve, like we did with the Spitfire. We weren't perfect at it at first, and we just kept working at it. And I thought there was a place where you could drop. Nope. The external field. I thought there was a place to. You could switch it and it would rock them. So yeah, just trying to improve the our landings, and that one wasn't too bad. Although I think I could sense I was starting to slow down a little too quickly, but it was trying to find that sort of. There we go. Thank you, Mick. Appreciate that. There's the link to the PayPal. Thank you to my #1 mod, Mick, for that. He's #1 in our hearts. There we are. Ooh, wow. That was 47 minutes of flying. Not too shabby. Yeah. There we are. So yeah, we had an uneventful landing, although it almost turned eventful. It almost did. But thankfully it did not. Anyway, thank you all for coming in. Thank you for the 3 thumbs up. Thank you, Airlock Doc. Hopefully you enjoy the rest of your flight if you're still lurking over on the Posh channel. And that will be it for today, folks. I will see you all tomorrow. Tees Valley line, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UTC, 12:30 UK. We're just going to do a quick freight service over on Tees Valley. And then we will be Iberia tomorrow for our, not Iberia, what am I talking about? Bilbao for our scenic flight tomorrow. We will take off from Bilbao. We will find a bunch of nice points of interest, and then we will land in Santander. And then we will wrap things up for the day. So do enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, early Sunday, wherever you are in the world. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.